Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're gonna discuss a topic that has fascinated humans for centuries: immortality. Not just to live a little longer than other humans, but to practically live forever. If you're below 50 at the release of this video, this is how you have a chance and you could climb what I like to call the ladder of immortality. Step-by-step guide from staying healthy today to extend your life to digitizing your consciousness and beyond. Let's go. Step 1 is obvious, but absolutely critical. Stay alive. You eat well, you move your body, and you sleep properly. And there are lots of longevity pills in the modern times that can give you some help. Here are the main tools. First, we have mTOR inhibitors. What does it do? Well, think of your cell like tiny machines. As they run non-stop, they wear out. mTOR inhibitors slows down your cell's growth engine, letting them to repair themselves longer. Basically, slows down aging at a cellular level. 2, we have NAD+ boosters. NAD+ is like the battery inside every single cell. Over time, these batteries run low. NAD+ boosters recharge your cell, help repair your DNA, and keep your energy high. And lastly, we have cyanotics. Old or damaged cells doesn't work properly and can even cause inflammations. Cyanotics clears out these zombie cells, keep your body fresh and functioning better for longer. There are people on YouTube that have like very detailed guides about how to actually survive as much as possible for our age. For example, Brian Johnson and people like that. If you need more information, you can just go check them out. And if you combine all this with a clean diet and good exercise, good sleep, and very low stress level, everything maxed out, it is realistic to hit 120 to 150 years. If you follow the current science and healthy living, it is about 80% achievable within your lifetime. This is the foundation of the ladder. Without it, nothing else matters. Step 2 is about going further than natural biology allows. There are 2 main approaches to step 2. First, we have cryonic or deep preservation, basically to freeze your body or your brain once your natural lifespan ends. The idea is to stay preserved until technology catches up. Your lifespan could jump to 3, 4, or even 500 years. And if unfortunately by the time when your long-lasting life ends, you still don't have this technology, there is actually another way out, which is cloning and organ replacement. Replace aging organs, limbs, or tissues with the genetically identical or engineered version. Your body stays fresh while your identity continues. With the technology advances in the next 50 to 100 years, the chances that we have this kind of technology are actually incredibly high. I would say it is more than 80%, given the fact that we already have companies doing those kind of research today at 2025. But considering all the ethical problems with people living much longer than other people, there are social conflicts and frictions, and regulatory problems from the government. I would say the chances that you have access to this kind of technology will be around 20 to 30%. The biggest challenge aren't technical anymore at this point. They are social problems. Early access creates a huge divide between mortals and semi-immortals. Banning it could cause catastrophic problems, and not banning it could also be catastrophic. It is a huge conflict between the elites group and average Joes. This is the first hint of a technological social singularity, a single breakthrough reshaping society in a way we can barely imagine and we cannot predict in a precise way. Step 3 is where things get uncomfortable. Not technically, But philosophically, the idea of step 3 sounds simple. Extract all information in your brain, memory, personality, habits, thought patterns. Your brain is a biological network. Every single neuron and every connection holds a part of you. So if you can map it perfectly, you can run that structure digitally. It means you can put it inside a computer. But here's a problem that most people don't realize. If you scan your brain and upload it to a computer, that version is not you, it is a copy of you. The original biological you will still be dead. Now, some people are totally fine with that if you believe identity is just information and then perfect copy is you. From your perspective, you close your eyes, you open them in a digital world, immortality achieved. But if you don't believe in that, if you believe consciousness must be continuous, then copying isn't enough. So there's another option, a much harder one. Instead of copying your brain all at once, you replace it gradually. Imagine nanotechnology robot. A microscopic machine enters your brain. They don't destroy it. They doesn't want to shut your brain down. This little machine does one thing only, which is replacing one neuron at a time. So it is going to replace one of your neuron with a machine. And then you're going to feel completely normal. You have millions and trillions of neurons in your brain, and only one of them is replaced by a machine. Each biological neuron is swapping with a synthetic neuron that behaves exactly the same way. Same input, same output, same timing, same function. So we just redo this change to change your biological neurons into a robotic neurons gradually, so that you wouldn't feel a thing. When you change one of your brain cells, it doesn't feel like nothing. When you change half of your brain, your consciousness still continues. So, by doing that, your memory stays intact, your thought continues, your personality does not reset. From your subjective experience, nothing is ever turned off. Day by day, year by year, more of your brain becomes non-biological until eventually every single neuron has been replaced. And yet, no point did the consciousness break. If continuity is what defines you, this is the strongest possible path to immortality. This isn't just sci-fi philosophy. This is the difference between survival and replication. If your brain is uploaded, it is a very good copy of you. If you believe identity survives copying, immortality is easier. But if you don't, then this nanotech path is the only acceptable option. And the wild part, from outside, both outcome looks identical. From inside, they are everything. So let's be honest about the probabilities. The full brain copying and digital upload will be roughly 10% or 20% in the next 1 to 200 years. But if you give society, let's say 500 years, I would say the technology was increasing rapidly. I would say the chances you have full brain copying will be more than 60% in the next 500 years. And if you want to have gradual neuron replacement via nanotechnology, this is much harder. It requires nanotech, neuron science, and AI to fully coverage. I will put this at less than 5% in the next 200 years, and probably, I can't really give a good estimation, but 20 to 30% in the next 500. And once your mind exists independently of biology, whether through copying or gradually replacement, the final step becomes obvious. You are no longer tied to a single body. Inject the extracted brain information into a new brain or body. Every neuron is set to match your original mind. Your personality and memory are fully restored. This can happen in a cloned body, an engineered organism, or multiple bodies at once if you are okay with it mentally. And regular backups and everything like that, you can restore yourself at any point in time, practically eternal in life. This is extremely difficult but theoretically achievable within the next 500 to 1,000 years. I'll put it around 5 to 10%, but those are just guesses. Right now, it requires a coverage of neuroscience, nanotechnology, AI, and bioengineering. As we climb this ladder, the social and ethical problems grow. Immortality isn't just personal, it actually reshapes the entire civilization. Early adapters create new inequalities. The first human to live centuries or upload their consciousness could wield power in a tremendous way that other people just cannot compete with him. Economics, politics, and philosophy itself could change drastically. Mortals may struggle to find meaning when some people can live practically forever. But humanity will likely to take the steps anyway, because the instinct to survive is stronger than most social rules. And the final step of your immortality is to control the civilization and try and make the civilization immortal. Because now that if the server is still working, now that if humans still have network, now that if human is not destroyed, you are not gonna die. So for the rest of your insanely long life, you will be trying to keep human or civilization together as a species so that you can continue live your life forever. So to sum up the ladder of immortality, first, optimal health and longevity interventions. It is 80% achievable. And cryonics or organ replacement will be around 20 to 30% depending on the social problems. And brain information extraction in the next 100 to 200 years preserves consciousness, but digital upload is just a copy. Gradual nanotech replacement preserves you. And your consciousness in the new body will be 5 to 10% achievable in the next 500 to 1,000 years. Immortality is not just technical. It's social, ethical, and philosophical. It's about surviving, but it is also about how we evolve as humans. If you enjoyed this journey, like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Will you climb the ladder if you are given the chance? Keep in mind that we might be the first generation who have the ladder in front of us. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video.